Yeah, I should cold open, quiet, cinematic. In 2026, you can do everything right and still fall behind. Work harder, save more, avoid stupid mistakes, and yet your money quietly loses ground, not because you're careless, but because the system is built to reward behaviors that look smart and punish the ones that actually work. This isn't about bad habits, it's about traps. Traps that feel normal, traps that are socially approved, traps that didn't exist 10 years ago or didn't matter the way they do now. Tonight, we're going to walk through 10 of them, slowly, calmly, without drama, and without pretending there's an easy way out. Because the most dangerous money traps aren't loud, they're boring, and they're everywhere. Let's start with why this matters right now. 2026 isn't a random year. It's the moment where several long-term trends finally overlap. Debt that was once cheap is now permanent. Assets that once grew naturally now require leverage. Wages look higher on paper, but buy less in practice. And the tools that promised financial freedom have quietly shifted who they actually serve. Most people sense something is off. They just can't put their finger on it. So let's do that. One trap at a time. Trap number 1, the illusion of a good income. And here's the uncomfortable part. Income stopped being the main driver of financial stability years ago, but socially, we still treat it like it is. In 2026, earning more money does not automatically mean getting ahead. In fact, for many people, it does the opposite. Why? Because income is taxed immediately, spending is incentivized immediately, and lifestyle expansion is almost automatic. Every raise comes with expectations. Better housing, better transportation, more convenience, more subscriptions, more obligations. None of these feel reckless. They feel earned. But here's the math people don't like to run. If your income rises by 20%, but your fixed costs rise by 25%, you didn't level up. You narrowed your margin. And margins are what protect you when something breaks, when hours get cut, when health changes, when inflation does what inflation always does. A good income with low flexibility is more fragile than a modest income with room to move. But the second one doesn't look impressive at dinner. So people chase the first and call it progress. Trap number 2, debt that pretends to be neutral. Debt used to be simple. Either it helped you grow or it slowed you down. In 2026, it's more subtle. Credit cards offer points. Buy now, pay later offers convenience. Auto loans stretch longer. Student debt just sits there. None of it screams danger. That's the point. The real trap isn't the interest rate. It's the way debt rearranges your future choices. Every monthly payment is a claim on your next paycheck, not just the money. The options. Debt narrows your ability to say no. No to a bad job. No to a risky but promising move. No to taking time when you need it. And because most people carry similar debt, it feels normal, which makes it invisible. The system loves predictable payers. It doesn't care whether you're comfortable, only whether you're consistent. Trap number 3, subscription creep. No one notices this one until it's done. A few dollars here, a small monthly charge there, tools you might need later, entertainment you don't even use. Individually, they're harmless. Collectively, they harden your cost of living. In 2026, subscriptions don't just drain money, they drain attention. They create default spending, money leaving your account without a decision being made. And when spending becomes automatic, awareness disappears. The irony is that subscriptions are sold as simplicity, but they complicate your financial picture more than almost anything else because they're hard to feel and easy to forget. Trap number 4, confusing liquidity with safety. Having money accessible feels responsible. Cash in the bank, funds available instantly, no friction. But accessibility has a cost. In a low growth environment, idle money quietly shrinks. Not dramatically, not overnight, just enough to matter over time. The trap isn't holding cash. The trap is holding too much for too long because it feels safe. Safety is emotional, stability is mathematical. In 2026, stability comes from structure, not convenience. From understanding where money is supposed to sit and why. But that requires intention. And intention is uncomfortable. So people default to easy access and call it caution. Trap number 5, the productivity fantasy. Every year, a new tool promises to optimize your finances, track everything, automate everything, visualize everything. But most people don't have a data problem. They have a decision problem. Knowing exactly where your money went doesn't change where it will go next. Only choices do. And constant tracking can create the illusion of control without actual leverage. It feels productive, it looks responsible, it doesn't move the needle. The system is happy to sell you dashboards. It's less interested in whether you act on them. Trap number 6, delayed adulthood. This one is uncomfortable to talk about, which is why it works. In 2026, many adults live like their financial life hasn't fully started yet, still waiting for the real phase. The bigger job, the clearer path, the right moment. So decisions get postponed, long-term planning gets deferred, responsibility gets softened. The problem is time doesn't wait for clarity. Compound effects don't care whether you feel ready, they run anyway. And the cost of delay isn't obvious in the short term. It shows up later, all at once. Trap number 7, mistaking optionality for freedom. Options feel powerful. Keeping doors open feels smart, but optionality without direction is just indecision with better branding. In money terms, this looks like never committing, never locking in, never choosing a lane, always waiting for better information, better timing, better conditions, but markets move, costs rise, opportunities expire. At some point, flexibility becomes stagnation. The irony is that real freedom often comes from constraint, from choosing one thing and letting others go, but that requires certainty, or at least acceptance of risk, and most people would rather stay flexible than be wrong. Trap number 8, following public narratives too closely. Every financial era has a story it tells itself. Right now, the story is about optimization, side hustles, passive income, financial hacks. Some of it works, most of it doesn't work at scale. The trap is assuming that what's loudly discussed is what's most effective. Public narratives lag reality. By the time something is popular, the advantage is usually gone. The system rewards early, quiet behavior, not late, visible enthusiasm, but quiet doesn't sell, so hype fills the gap. Trap number 9, underestimating fixed costs. Fixed costs feel stable, rent, insurance, utilities, transportation. Because they don't change much month to month, people stop questioning them. But over years, fixed costs decide everything. They determine how much risk you can take, how much time you can buy, how much stress you carry. In 2026, the people who feel stuck often aren't bad with money. They're locked into structures that don't bend, and bending is what you need when conditions shift. Trap number 10, believing there's a single solution. This is the most dangerous one. The idea that one move will fix everything. One investment, one career change, one strategy. It's comforting, it's simple, it's wrong. Financial stability in 2026 isn't built through breakthroughs. It's built through alignment. Income, costs, time, risk, and behavior pulling in the same direction. No single lever does that alone, and anyone promising otherwise is selling relief, not results. Now zoom out. None of these traps are dramatic. None of them involve obvious mistakes. That's why they work. They exploit normal behavior. Social approval, convenience, delay. They don't make you feel foolish, they make you feel busy, and busy people don't stop to question the structure they're inside. The unsettling part isn't that these traps exist, it's that they're becoming default, which raises a final question. In a system where staying afloat requires more intention than ever, what happens to everyone who's just trying to be normal? That's not a rhetorical question. It's the one the next decade will quietly answer.